Many people believe that because the automobile is in such general use in America, it was invented in the United States. That is not true. The gasoline motor car that we know began in France and Germany. What Americans did invent was a method of manufacturing cars in such numbers that in the end they led the world in production, producing some 75% of all the world's cars. One reason why motoring began in Europe, and at the start progressed more quickly there, was that the roads were so much better. In no branch of social and economic development was the United States so far behind Europe as in its roads. There were a number of reasons for this. In Europe, the hard base for thousands of miles of good highways had been laid by the Romans hundreds of years before. It was there, ready to be later built up into fine, smooth surfaces by engineers. Second, distances there were not very great, and the large number of towns and villages, all quite near one another, made road building economical. In the great unpeopled spaces of the American continent, on the other hand, it was easier and cheaper to use the rivers and lakes and to make canals or put down railroads. American roads had their beginning in the paths used by Indians, or those stamped out by cattle. Most of them became seas of mud when it rained, and could then be used only if logs had been laid across them. So it is not hard to understand why most Americans did not see, as they watched the first few automobiles speeding along town streets at 10 or 15 miles an hour, anything to get very excited about. To people like farmers, it seemed that the car could never take the place of the horse. After all, the horse had its own power plant. It needed only what was grown on the farm, and it gave back to the farm the best possible natural fertilizer. To overcome this feeling about the horse, an automobile would have to be more than good. It would have to be easy to operate, easy to mend, able to climb hills, and travel over very bad road surfaces. Above all, it had to be cheap. The answer came in 1908 in a machine which Henry Ford called his Model T. With it was born a completely different way of life.